Sucharu is the joint president, Grasim Industries. Over 30 years of rich experience in the industry, having led very big brands. And now the impact that she and our company are doing on the sustainability front for India is unbelievable and story. So Sucharu, instead of me telling the story, it will be really nice if you tell what Grasim and Birla Cellulose is doing on the sustainability front. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Annika. I'm going to keep it very brief. It's a Friday night at 8 o'clock. I'm sure we all want to kind of wind up quickly. So I'm going to quickly I'll jump on from the slides that I was planning to talk through. But I'm going to start by talking about where Karun spoke about the European Green Deal. And, that's a big one coming our way. This is not going to be a session so much about what Birla Cellulose is doing, but much more about the trends in the industry and what the industry as a whole has to prep for, and what are the hopeful solutions which are already existing in the industry. So the European Green Deal is very clearly stating that there is going to be extended producer responsibility. That responsibility is going to take a holistic approach about the way clothing is produced, sold, and disposed. And it's going to levy a tax on carbon emissions and imports. It's going to be a rollout of the EU-wide framework on EPR, as they call it, extended producer responsibility. Brands and manufacturers will be responsible for the waste they generate. They are not only responsible for the way clothing is produced, but sold and, most importantly, disposed. What that means is, that there is going to be, like Ruchita spoke about, a heightened need for transparency and traceability, because that's the only way you can then map through the carbon footprinting of the garments that you're going to be putting in the store. And each of the garments has to have a label about its carbon footprinting, how its recyclability and its recycled solution, which is scientifically verified by a third-party body. Now, what this means is that we will have to have more robust traceability solutions. Ruchita spoke about some of the fiber trace blockchain systems. Similarly, there are other systems existing, like there's the Green Track that Birla Cellulose has an indigenous system sitting on the blockchain. Just this week, we've signed off with Textile Genesis to be partnering on their system as well, so that brands are getting the opportunity of showing their traceability mapping either on their system or our system, or both systems combined. Our systems will bring in the forest to fiber visibility, and then the end physical traceability. There's a tracer in all the sustainable fibers as well as next generation fibers. So that Green Track solution exists that will give you both physical verification as well as the the traceability of the garment right from forest through till the shop floor. Now, the power of traceability is such that on the slides, there is, of course, a QR code on slide 8 or 9, if that's visible. If you put your camera on it, you can actually see the complete geopolitical journey that the garment has taken, along with the details of the style number, the PO quantity, who was the manufacturer, what was the quantity manufactured, when was it shipped out. All of details are visible. That's the power of traceability with a QR code that more and more brands are getting into, showcasing, as well as going ahead and putting on their garments as well. Now, I see the presentation has come up now. So am I audible? I think it went on mute for a while. In the interest of time, I moved on ahead. We can skip on to the slide, which is one before the circular solutions. This is what I was talking about, extended producer responsibility. Please move forward. So we've all heard about the HIG being pulled up as a traceability tool. So we're just going to move forward from here, as I was talking about the Green Track as a traceability tool that's already live. Please move forward. We'll just come to the slide before the circular fashion, where it's talking about the power of traceability in your hand with the QR code. Please move forward. Yeah, those are the test certificates that that can be generated from the traceability tools. Move forward, please. This is what I was talking about. So, the QR code is like a depository of information. It sits on the blockchain system. It is not, it's a free for all kind of a system where every input and output is mapped by each producer. And then this is the kind of traceability that you can do PO-wise, style-wise, that's visible. And this is what's going to help in generating not only the carbon footprinting, but also the traceability and the sustainability journey, credentials, country of origin, which is a big deal right now. It's a big opportunity in favor of India. We are having most US manufacturers definitely ask for a country of origin certification, and that we are seeing as a big favor. Just today, we were in talk with two of the world's global leading brands, and both of them have reaffirmed their interest in India. It's the only country which has three kinds of fibers as a producer, both in polyester, cotton, and in viscose MMCF space. So there are big plans for India where the brands are concerned, not only from a garmenting point of view, but also from a fiber, textile, and yarn solution point of view. Interestingly, the next part of the presentation, I'm going to talk about circular solutions. If you skip to the next two slides, India is going to be the hotbed for circularity in the next 10 years. Circularity and sustainability are going to be the biggest two opportunities that we have as a country to offer. I want to talk about some of the innovations in MMCF which are already in the market and which are upcoming. So recycled viscose, we've already commercialized. We're picking up textile industry waste from some of the leading garment factories in India. We're tied up with reverse resources in Bangladesh and picking up cutting table waste. At the same time, this is Liva Reviva, which is made with 30% recycled content. There is a big project going on for mechanical recycling, which is not yet commercialized, where we're picking up even garment end-of-life waste and mixed content, where we can mix it with fibers to increase strength and bring that yarn to the market. So that's a separate project going on. We've also commercialized in the pre-commercialization stage for Liva Reviva lyocell. So this is recycled lyocell, again made with the same chemical recycling technology that Liva Reviva is made, which is used cutting table waste. In the next slide, there are at least 6, 7, 8 innovators that we are working with, but I'll talk about the 3, 4 most major ones. In the space of recycled viscose, just earlier today, we had a major deal. We've signed off with Renewcell for a 10, 20, 30,000 ton program to offer this from mid-June onwards. Just today, it's been agreed with the CEOs of both the companies that we will be bringing in recycled lyocell. It's called Liva Reviva, powered by Circulose. That will be available from 30th June onwards. Already, we've committed to 2 brands to bring in their bulk spring-summer 24 merchandise already in Liva Reviva, powered by Circulose. Similarly, with the Sodra, we've already done trials for another 2 brand partners. We are hoping that we should be able to commercialize this in June as well. And I must tell you, there's a man-made cellulosics conference in May, and a lot of this is going to get finalized. So there's a very fast-moving space. Keep a watch out for it. Similarly, with Evernew, we've already done a pilot trial for 31% Evernew, and I'll show you in the next slide a practical demonstration of the trial. And we've not only done 31%, but we've done 100% Evernew also. So that's 100% recycled lyocell, which is made from absolutely zero. It's a tree-free lyocell. So in this case, just as a recent example, Zara had given 8 cartons of unsold cotton merchandise in the US to Evernew to make pulp. Basically, the current regulations were demanding that this merchandise be burnt, but we know the kind of hazard that does to the environment. So this pulp, Evernew made the pulp, sent it to Birla. We made 1 ton of recycled lyocell fiber using a combination of the Inditex and the new cycle pulp of Evernew. We used TRADC and Birla Cellulose and Birla Century to make the slub yarn. And then we made this fabric actually went down to Morocco to make a garment over there style. And this was launched in December 22. Collection was sold out the first day. On the next slide, there's one or two more images in case you're interested in seeing what this entire collaboration looked like. This is, of course, we can talk about the carbon footprinting of doing an exercise like this, but I think more importantly, it shows the power of circular solutions and how these solutions will be emerging going forward. Closer to home, we did one more trial with our own group company, Madura, where we picked up, if you go on the next slide, we picked up the waste from Madura's own factory. And we converted this into a recycled lyocell, recycled viscose combined with the BCI cotton. So the idea was to give a 100% sustainable circular product. And this was, again, a men's shirting program that it ran for a Far Earth campaign. Now, again, these are practical demonstrations of end-to-end solutions that are possible, indigenously done within India. Just today, when we were talking to RenewCell for a partnership with one of India's largest export houses, it's a beautiful circular story for one of the most leading brands globally, where because the waste is coming from that factory as well. So this is giving a lot of hope to the industry. In fact, in the next 3 to 5 years, we will see a lot of pulping units being put in the country, a lot of waste collection, as well as Reverse Resources, along with Fashion for Good, is doing a waste monitoring program and how to categorize waste producers, not just producers, but in terms of the waste collectors and how you can recycle, sort, and bring end-of-life merchandise into circular solutions. I think I'm going to leave you with the last slide here on terms of we saw a very distinct change at Premier Vision this time. This is the first time we saw a complete section devoted to sustainable fabrics at Premier Vision. In fact, they spoke a lot about how only 1% of the total global solutions which are emergent today is just less than 1% of the total textile industry. But, it does talk about how there is a combined responsibility for design, sustainability, and circularity to come along, use tools which are scientific and technology-based like blockchain systems to come together to provide solutions. This is no longer a 3 separate subcategories. It'll all have to work as one. And I think I just would like to, in the interest of time, leave you with this message that very hopeful for India, and even from the domestic market point of view, I see a lot of our youth customers adopting circular solutions as well as circularity and sustainability stories. So very, very hopeful both from adoption in India, global adoption. While last year we saw a destruction in demand because of the global situation, overall, the McKinsey report of 2023 has pointed out that brands were focused on buying more sustainable products, and overall, there was a 5% increase in the sustainability products that the brands bought, even in this tough environment. So I'll leave you with that message. In the interest of time, I promised Annika I'll be short and I'll keep it at that. Thanks so much.
Sucharu, you could have gone on for another 5 minutes, but the thing is, we are definitely out of time. I think one last question which I would ask you is that you do a lot of work on the global scale with global brands, etc. How is Birla Cellulose and Grasim Industries poised in the Indian scenario? I mean, what percentage of your product goes into the Indian sustainable product goes into the Indian retail?
So currently it's a 20%, 80% divide. It's 20% in India, 80% global. But Annika, in the next 5-7 years, it'll be the other way around. We see the youth totally warming up to, this entire, sorry, my dog's barking in the background.
And it's absolutely okay. Yeah. That's why we keep it at a Friday, when everyone's relaxed, and this is the time to open up our eyes and ears and really look forward to the future. As they say, you can predict the future if you make it, right? And it is in our hands to make, whatever we do now is what our, next generations are going to experience. Yeah. Lovely insights. Thank you so much, Sucharu. And thank you to all the speakers. Some amazing information has come through. Tamanna ji, if you're fine, we'd love to hear from you from the AEPC angle as well.
Yeah, in one word, I should compliment the BSL team to organize such a lovely speakers series, and I should request BSL that we should actually give an individual platform to each one of them, because whether it was actually a great Friday evening. It's a treat on Friday evening to listen to such great speakers, awesome speakers. And I'm getting a lot of messages from AEPC manufacturing community on having individual sessions of each one of them, so that whether it is about dyes or cotton initiative or about Ms. Charu talking about the initiatives taken by these brands, they're really excited about all these bigger ones, no? The big daddies coming to handhold the smaller ones in this whole episode. So that's a wonderful initiative. And thank you, Annika and Sonali, for just being a great moderator. So in the interest of the audience, I mean, this AEPC, which is a Apparel Export Promotion Council, one of the biggest challenges that we see in the international market, having a perspective of promoting garment exports from India, is that the European Green Deal is becoming a big scare, not in terms of implementation alone, but also in terms of understanding amongst the manufacturers and vendors that what this sudden regulatory norms, and is it a non-tariff barrier? Can big brands help us in getting akin to the idea of getting on sustainability? So this session was an amazing session on throughout the value chain, listening to Ruchita on her cotton initiative, to Karun on the dyes, and finally Sucharu. So it was a complete value chain, coming together, and it is wonderful initiative, and APC is very, very happy to have all of you on board. And friends, in the larger interest of the audience, this APC BSL initiative is about getting such stories on board with an initiative about helping companies to understand what's happening in their peer group, because most of them are not even aware about what all of us are doing. And secondly, together this YouTube series or this collaborative series, APC plans to take all these stories to the global market. So Ministry of Textile, we keep getting requests about giving some great stories about India to be played at the Davos or a G20 negotiations about what India has been doing in the sustainability space. So I'm sure that this series is going to convert into a great brand India image as well. And that's what is the endeavor about training manufacturers on one side, helping and hand-holding each other, creating ecosystems, and creating a brand image at the global forum is the whole objective of this exercise. So I'm very, very happy to all of you to be here. And I leave you with the promise that you come back once again for an in-depth exercise. I'm ready to hear all technical jargons that Karun would speak, or Ruchita, to help companies understand how they can be a part of this whole system and how do you register. So technically we can see the processes in much more detail. So thank you so much and have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamanna ji. I think the synergy between BSL and AEPC is coming through very, very well. And we look forward to seeing some of the speakers in Davos and your other big events that will happen very soon.
Of course.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.